There we go. We've made it online again. Hello. Ah, look at all this lovely hydrazine. Isn't that a great site to start your stream with? Just like, hey, I can go all over the galaxy because I have metric tons of hydrazine. Let's go see if... Actually, there wasn't an update to the smelters, so I doubt that they're working yet. I put it here. Yeah. But let's go offload that anyway. That's what I dug up before. Okay, cool. And then... Oh, I just did compound. Okay. Hello, Professor Eggs. Made it as soon as it started. Well done. Good timing. I've got... I suppose, yeah, then you would have heard me as I was saying it's really cool to have started the stream and the first thing I saw was just an absolute ton of hydrazine waiting for me this side, so that was very cool. Okay, I'm thinking... Oh, hello. Oh, it doesn't just drop them there, it just drops them on the ground. No, I don't... That's what I want. That's fine. Okay. I think let's tidy up here, and then we'll pick a planet to go set up base on and move to the center of the planet with. What say you? Does that sound like a good idea? I'm just going to turn us down a little on my headset so I can hear myself think. Now I'm just going to... Actually, you know what? If I go to a sunny planet, then I'll take the solar array with me. So maybe we'll sort of aim to find somewhere like that. But in the meantime... We've got titanium, and we've got titanium and iron, and I can hear that solar thing I just dropped in the background. It's busy rocking back and forth. I might have to go sort that out in a second. But first, I think I need to go make some resin as well. New planet question mark times 3. Wait, that's not because the bot's not allowing you to do question marks so much, is it? I remember there was something about that, but I hope it's fixed by now. But yeah, basically, we've gotten the core of Glacier, so I figure we don't necessarily need to go back there anytime too soon. What have we got here? So we might as well pick another one to take ourselves off to. I want that one. That one, there we go. Over here, and I want that one off. And we'll put it this side, there we go. And then, let's see, let's go aluminum that side. We'll take the quartz somewhere else, but I don't know where yet. Although if that's only half, then I might as well just take one of them with me. And this poor little lone piece of zinc is just chilling here. Okay, well that's a couple less resin we need to make just now. Which part of me I hate to say it's question marks out loud. I mean, I'll give you that. I think it does have a theatrical effect. What am I doing here? I'm going to leave the resin here. Leave the graphite there. Definitely leave the beacon because I want to take that with me. We'll put the that's what we'll do. We'll take the metals off of this. Put the quartz onto it. And then we can go put that somewhere in the base that we somehow remember. There we go. Magically as a quartz spot. Let's fill up one side of it at least. Okay. Now we can go drop off titanium that side as well. Do I need a... What's on the other side of this? Maybe I just need to hurry up and make some resin actually. Let's do that. Not masses I'll be making with one thing, but a little bit. Oh, 6 of them! Jeez, wait. Oh, it must have had soil in it before. Okay, I was going to say I thought it maxed out at 8, but I guess it already had a little bit of soil in it. Cool. Oh, we need a panel for that to sit on. No, not new. And new. Oh, God, I didn't even know that was possible. There we go. And we'll put the plants in there. And of course, what do I bet you it's going to start unloading this side. In fact, maybe I should even just preempt that. If it starts the other side now, just shoot the machine. Okay, we're going to want to make a shelter. I have to check what I need. Yes! To make that. Okay, we'll leave that for a second. Let's just go see what a shelter needs. Come on. Just those large shuttles are ridiculous. Silicone and plastic. Anybody remember what I need for silicone and plastic? Correct side this time. Wait. Correct side. Oh, there. Yes. Correct side this time. Well done, machine. For your efforts, you win. I don't know what. I have a sneaking suspicion. Oh, I've got resin that side. Okay, I think I'm going to need this. And I can't remember. What did I just? I already can't remember what I'm supposed to be making. Or what I was? Yeah, silicone and plastic. Okay, you got that in your head now? Are you going to remember? Silicone and plastic. So I figure let me get my things ready to head off to another planet, and then on the way we can start talking about. Tonight's topic. Although I could also ask, how are you doing, Professor Eggs? So polite of me, isn't it? I actually remember to ask people these things, apparently. Oh, and there are footsteps going past my window. That was strange. Carbon and compounds. I need some organic. Let's go destroy some more habitat. Wait, did that get me? Oh no, it just made a noise. And I think I just saw that my backpack is actually too full. Oh, that's annoying. Give me all the organic. Oh, jeez. It happened instantly, but okay. And we'll go plop this on a smelter. So I was actually quite happy today. I was watching, if you saw on the stream last night, there was a guy named Touring here. I went to watch his stream for a while. Wait, was it from his stream? I think it was, yeah, it was from his stream. So I was on his stream for a while, and I was sort of on and off there. I was getting something done in the background, but also hanging out that side. And then I came back just in time for when he was ending the show, and they raided another streamer. And that other streamer, it turned out, was another Twitch psychologist who I didn't know existed. Hello, Lobro and Neuro. That's very sneaky of you. Catch me in the middle of a monologue? For shame. Neuro probably. Yeah, Neuro was there too. Now you all know what Neuro was doing earlier. This is going here. And so Neuro and Lobra, as I mentioned to... Yes, thank you. I was still getting to the name, Neuro. Sorry, you beat my non-existent ADHD to it. Yeah, so... Touring News raided Coco, or I think she's Coco the Louder, with underscores in between, if I remember the name right. We'll have to look up her name later and give her a shout out in her absence. Another one, please. But yeah, and actually that was really cool. Like it was just really cool to find another psychologist just hanging out on stream and chatting to people. And it was interesting because her bio said, you know, oh, she's quite the gamer, and yet I don't think she gamed at all on that stream. Silicone, resin, quartz, and methane. Goodness, quartz. Quartz, resin. Nope. Nice try, but no. You know what? Fine. Okay, we'll put that there. So Nero and Lobro, just in case you weren't here a moment ago, the agreement I made with Professor Eggs is that I'm going to get myself off planet, and then we'll start talking about the topic for tonight. If that's agreeable to everybody, if that's acceptable. Seeing as we're talking about acceptance and commitment therapy, I'll check in if that's acceptable to you guys or not. Okay, good enough for the next one. Did I run out of methane? Have another methane. There we go. Coco the Louder, thank you. She plays strategy games like... Does The Sims count as a strategy game? See, in my head I think of real-time strategies as strategy games, so like StarCraft and Warcraft and Age of Empires, and so hearing that applied to The Sims confuses my head somewhat. Oh, we can drop off the titanium while we're here. And my kitty has come stalking through. Hello, kitty. Are you coming to say hello to us, or are you just here? I think he's just here. Here. And there's all of them. Okay. So that'll make me a shelter. And then let's put the resin down. No, not down there. Down there for now. And get that shelter started, because they always take forever to build. Because they're absolutely giant. You please. I'd like one shelter. Okay. What else do we need with us? We don't actually need a research chamber this time. We need printers. Small printer I make in my backpack. Small printer makes a medium printer, which needs compound. Medium printer makes a large printer in case we need it, which needs compound. Okay, so moral of this story is all the compound. Yeah, there. And I suppose we'll need, well, the resin minus the resin we just used up. And then I think we'll use some of this resin for making medium storages. Am I going the wrong way again? There, yes. Medium storage, please. So we're going to make a bunch of medium storage. Then we're going to go get soil, make resin, put that on the storage, and we'll figure it out after that. Oh! Kilroy, you snuck in too. Hello, Kilroy. Lobra, I did not accept this agreement, for shame. As you'll be hearing soon enough, acceptance is a really healthy thing to do, so we'll get there. Simulation games are totally strategy, many of them. Wow. What about those, like, you get all these funny ones now, like Sim Farm and Sim Goat and Sim I don't know what else. So, do they count too? Are they strategy as well? Admittedly, I haven't played some of those bizarre ones, but I am curious about them. Then we've got one piece of resin here, and there was one down here somewhere, wasn't there? Or did I pick it up already? I probably picked it up already. I'm just going to run into the edge like a buffoon. It's a good word, buffoon. And we're going to drop this off here. Does it make sense? Yeah, you know, I'll just put it there. That's fine. And we'll go drop off some of my masses of soil to get, I'm guessing, 6 pieces of resin. Resin, please. Okay, 5 pieces of resin. Evening, Kilroy. Just now I looked at your name and I didn't actually get to your chat message because I was trying to catch up with the previous chat message. So, evening, Kilroy. Yeah, okay, see, managing cities and stuff like Sim Cities and City Skylines, that I would give strategy for, I suppose. But anyway, this Brawlton for last time. Dun dun dun. Yeah, this. Oh, Kilroy, you have to see my beauty over here. We have over here a large shredder. It's a glorious machine. In fact, actually, I just saw in my base earlier something that I can shred, and I feel it's quite ironic and appropriate. We're going to shred our medium shredder in the extra large shredder. Could actually shred my large shredder in the extra large shredder as well, but might be overkill. Come listen to the sweet sound of that. Shredderception. Now, I wonder if I could have loaded that onto the large shredder, and while it was shredding, picked it up and put it on the shredder. Well, that would have been true shredderception. I don't know why this is here, other than bad planning. Why are they all insisting on doing wrong? Okay, is it actually shredding this? Yeah, oh, okay. Wow. It takes forever. Is it shrinking? I'm sorry, dear game developers, but shredding things does not shrink them. You are completely cheating with that graphic. Just pieces flying everywhere, and the thing shrinks smaller and smaller, because of course that's how shredding machines work. Although this is a space shredding machine. Maybe I don't know. pixel size. Watch sparks starting from it. No, we're not. We're going to go. We're going to go collect that resin and take it over. The main reason I think I'm taking a lot of resin is just so that when I get there, I can build storage thingies other than the ones on my ship already. No, I want you there because. Okay. Any votes on which planet I'm going to? Makes it cuter. Coco. Oh, Coco did play something. Life is Strange. I played a little bit of Life is Strange. I didn't get too hugely into it, but I do like the concept of it. Ooh, and there's a. Oh, I got a new suit. Can I just change? Whoa! Check me out. Ah, that's amazing. I'm guessing I unlocked the suit when I unlocked that planet. That's really cool though. Oh, and color palettes. Well now, Glacier color palette. I'm very blue. I accept. Visor color. Wait, does he even have a visor? Mirror gold or mirror silver? Wow, such much excitement, such wow. Can I even see your... Oh, there we go. There's the little gold bit. Well done, Mr. Astro Dude. Okay. On to more important things. We loaded on some compound, some resin. I want... oh, shoot. I want the shelter and the solar panel. I can't take both. Can I... No, I have to take off this big thingy. And put that there. Okay, I might actually take that and solar panel. Okay, so we need to pick a sunny planet because I'm taking a solar panel with me. Visanya might work. Let's go have a look at planets. Visanya, no, Visanya's low sun. I want high sun. So we can do... We can do... I guess that would be the easier one. Should we go to the moon? Because it's got high sun. Yeah, you know, let's... I suppose it would make sense to... Was it strange? I would... Wow. What, the game or life? Because life is strange, but the game is different. I wouldn't call it strange, just different. Okay, let's go to the moon. Although not that we want any of those resources particularly, but I do want the stuff in the middle of the planet. So let's do that. We'll take this stuff in the meantime, and we'll come back. So I did promise we were going to start talking while we're traveling, even though we're traveling so far that we're going to be there in like a split second. So acceptance and commitment therapy is a really, really cool topic to me. So lately we were talking about rational emotive behavioral therapy, or REBT, and don't get me wrong, I love my REBT. I use a lot of it, and I slipped off my chair arm. Is that the word? I slipped off it either way. Do I land next to one of those, or do I land where I landed before? And I didn't bring quartz with me, so that one might make sense. Let's do a rotation just to see if there's a better spot potentially. What is that? But I think I might go back to that one that's next to the portal there. So one of the cool things with REBT, we spoke a bit about some of the basics of REBT, and there's some slightly... Oh, there's two of these now. Huh. Do we want the one at the top or the one at the bottom? Or have I just gone all the way around and they're both the same thing? I think we want this one. Going once? Going twice? Wait, is that one closer? Okay, let's see which one's closer. That one might be closer by like a few millimeters, but it could also just be the angle. I think it's the angle. We'll take that one. Okay. Thank you for your help in the decision-making process, chat. You were very useful. So, one of the slightly more advanced things they talk about, and I picked the right one. Oh my god, I'm a genius. Is they talk about, in REBT now, they talk about a concept of unconditional acceptance of self and unconditional acceptance of others. And it relates back to the whole not making demands. It's basically saying it makes sense for us to unconditionally accept ourselves and others, because otherwise we're just demanding that they must be certain ways, and That's kind of pointless. Oh, this is not one that needs power. It's a pity. Plug into it. Nope. Plug. Ooh. Hello, home. Oh, and we have a. We don't need a what's his name? A beacon, because we've got this. Okay, cool. Problem solved. Crisis averted. Actually, I could probably just go dig down to the planet with what I've brought. Wow, this is going to be like somewhat sad in some ways. It's just, I do need compound for my tethers. Okay, we've made all of it now. And we are going to leave that here. Leave that here. Leave that here, but we'll take all the compound with us. No, oh shoot. Go back. We wanted this and this, and we're going to go underground. Yay! Wait. Or should I bring batteries first? Because if I bring batteries, then at least... Yeah, okay. You know what? Fine. Fine, you win. I'll go back to Earth and get some batteries. That gives me more time to talk. So, Ellis really had an awesome idea with this unconditional acceptance of self and acceptance of others, with perhaps the only issue being that he didn't quite take it far enough, because as some rather clever US psychologists figured, actually I think Ellis was American too, so both are American, but as some rather clever American psychologists figured out later, acceptance as a concept carries lots and lots and lots of psychological benefit, and sort of conversely, what we might call the opposite of acceptance, which would maybe go for judgment, carries a lot of negative effects psychologically. And as much as, often when we think of judgment, we think of, don't judge other people and log in your own eye type idea. But while that definitely applies, and I think there's a lot of use in that, for the large part, I think much of our judgment is often directed at ourselves, that we can often be very unaccepting and judgmental of ourselves. And so one of the things that Ellis got right, but maybe didn't focus on quite enough, at least for my tastes, was this concept of acceptance. Okay, what were we bringing? We were bringing batteries. Excuse me. Batteries and... Was that it? Just batteries? Going once? Nope. Gone. Going once and gone. Come back here, please. Pick up another of you. I think 3 batteries should be plenty, surely. Actually, I don't even need that compound. Do I just leave it? Yeah, batteries is all you heard. This is true. I think it's more just I'm sort of double checking in my head going, do I need anything else? But no, I think we're good to go with just some battery. Basically, I just want to be able... no, we've got... I might actually go back as... What's the word I want? Not luxurious. There's a fancy word I'm looking for. It's like when you... Not spendthrift. When you waste resources and you sort of don't give a damn about how much you're wasting, and it's a bad thing, but that's what I've just done. Basically, because what I wanted to take was a platform of some sorts. I'm gonna need resin to make the platforms, though. Let's go grab some of this resin from here, I guess. I just need a platform to put the batteries on. I think we can do just a large platform C, I think it is. Or B. Wait, large platform. Ooh. Ooh. Don't think I've made that one yet. We're gonna grab some iron as well, so we can have one of each. Please tell me your iron. Yes. Don't even have to run all the way to that side to get our iron. Okay, so we'll make these 2, and then we should be good to go. We're going to the moon in our glacier suit, because on the planet, well, no, it's not a very hot planet. It has no atmosphere, so if the sun's facing it, I guess it's very hot. But we're in our made for cold temperature suit. think he looks pretty cool. He thinks so too. And why is my printer taking so long? Come here, my precious. Large platform C. Do you think it'll fit in a smaller box? Because if it does, I can stick it on here. And if it doesn't, question mark. Let's take off one of those. I'm hoping, just because it's made from this printer, it'll be small enough. So, Ellis had the right idea with this acceptance thing. He had a lot of other really good ideas. I'm glad he came up with the rest of what he did, because his stuff basically led the way to CBT, and CBT has been like glorious for the field. So very good that he did focus on what he did focus. But so now I'm trying to remember their names. Is it Stephen Hayes? Is one of them? I think. Got some other Stevens stuck in my head, so I'm getting my surnames confused. But I think Stephen Hayes is one of the. Yeah, I mean, I have to go to other sunny planets too, so there's no rush. I can do this one now and that one later, and it's not a big issue. Oh yes, it is a small one. Okay, up there please. Let's just double check. It is on. Oh, and I have a spare thing. And there we go. We've tidied up now. Look at us go. So anyway, some clever people whose names I'm forgetting came up with this concept of acceptance and commitment therapy. And basically what they said, well no, part of what they said is that a large part of our negative emotional experience comes from our struggle to rid ourselves of our negative emotions, that we go to extreme lengths to avoid negative emotions. And what they potentially said is, well, what if we don't do that? What if we accept the fact that we have these negative emotions, and as much as they suck, that's basically it. They're not awful, they're not going to destroy you, they're just unpleasant and uncomfortable, and the emotion itself is unpleasant and uncomfortable to a degree, but what makes it almost all the more so is our constant struggle against it. And really what happens is we fixate our attention so hard on this struggle I'll pick one. This struggle to rid ourselves of these emotions, that in the process of that struggle, we lose track of what's really important to us. And so what they essentially said was, well, what if we turn that on its head? What if instead we accepted whatever our emotional state is and move from there to saying, okay, well, rather than fixating my attention on this constantly, instead I'm going to focus my attention on what's important to me. And sure, the emotion is going to sort of jump in front of me from time to time, and that's okay. But when it does, I have a choice. I can either have, when it jumps in front of me, I can either sort of direct my attention to it and focus on that the whole time, or when it jumps in front of me, I can focus back on what's important to me again. And I can keep adjusting my behavior to focus on my own values, the things that I find to be important. And this takes away a lot of the power of negative emotion. Now, do keep in mind, I'm grossly simplifying at the moment, but we're going to get into slightly more complex versions of these fairly soon. Platform C, please. Oh, apparently. Wait, so do those then... Can I put individual stuff on there? That's a bit... Well, I've got the other platforms, so it's not the end of the world. I don't actually like that platform much. I think I like this one more. Do I have a plug here? Yes, I do. And we'll unplug you. And we'll plug you into here. No, you into here. And we'll put the last battery on. And there comes the sunlight. Perfect timing. And Geronimo. Okay, let's go dig up these nasty plants, because how dare they be here? Actually, that's also going to be a nice change here, is that... Oh, I don't want to go uphill, I want to go down. Do I have a hole somewhere? There we go. It's not actually much of a hole, but I accept it. You'll notice as well, when it comes to this topic, I start finding myself using the word accept in every context which isn't this context of acceptance and commitment therapy, and then I have a little chuckle at myself each time to go, hee hee, I said acceptance. So sorry about that, you're gonna have to get used to it. Just accept it. Let's just look around. See, now I was saying the plus side is that there's not a lot of dangerous plants here, but that said, I think there are still some dangerous things, and I probably need to keep some degree of an eye out for them. Looking for tethers. There we go. I actually want to slide all the way down, but... Oh wow! I think they must have changed something recently, because I find myself running out of power a lot more when I'm digging these days. It never used to happen as often when I was connected to a power source. Okay, so we're going to get into the details of this acceptance, because I absolutely know that it's not as emotions are not always as easy as thing as just going, okay, you know what, I accept that emotion's there, the end, moving on. You know, that would be, if only it were that easy. They'd found sort of a one-trick thing to go, right, oh, do this, okay, you're sorted now. No, I don't want wolframite, I thought you were ammonium. Go away, I don't want wolframite. Oh, hello. But you, on the other hand, look like ammonium. And I do want ammonium. Okay, let's not stand on the precipice while we're... You see, I like to use big words sometimes. I like to use big words so people think I sound more photosynthesis. Okay, let's get that out the way. And we're going to have a ramp going down there. And we're going to try not to zoom down it too quickly. And we're going to dig up some ammonium, because ammonium is glorious stuff. I'm going to come back for the rest of it, because I feel bad to leave ammonium behind. But no, ooh, do you see that? They set a trap for me down there. Nasty people. Okay, mouthwords, we're getting there. Ooh, shinies. I was getting there, and then I saw shinies, and now we're not getting there anymore. Dig those up, please. Dig that up too. Make another tether bundle. Okay, so now, as much as acceptance is a useful thing to do, it is important to differentiate that acceptance is not the same thing as resignation. So when we accept the fact that we feel a certain way, we're not necessarily saying, and that will never change, I'm doomed to forever feel that way. Instead, we're trying to look at it as saying, you know, we recognize we don't always have as much control over our emotions as we'd like. You know, as much as it would be wonderful to have absolute control over our emotions, that's not the reality of the situation. So I was just checking if they dropped anything. And I want that one, please. No, oh, okay, that one, sure, but I wanted this one actually. It has me gathering research when I don't even need research at the moment. Let me just look around here, because there are pretty things. More of them? Goodness. Okay. Thinking maybe just dig at an angle from here. Oh, let's just go get him. See, there's not lots of dangerous plants here, but there are some. Okay, have we gotten most of the... Nasty nasties. Are you... Goodness, is there another one right there? There it is. Jeez. Okay, let's move away from that. Then, let's go back to it and dig it up. I could swear it had a research thing on it. Oh well. I do like lowish gravity stuff. So, we're not trying to move to a position of resignation, where we say, you know, I am doomed to feel bad all the rest of my days. Oh well, too bad, so sad. I want that sort of level of stuff. So from this perspective, if there is something available to the person that they can change the emotional experience, then by all means we encourage them to say, you know, look, if you can eliminate that negative emotion from your life, go for it, sure. But just keep in mind that there is a chance that you may not be able to. And should you discover that's the case, we don't want you to get yourself so wrapped up in, oh God, what am I doing to myself? Let's do that, just so that I don't die. And then we're going to come up here and recalculate. There we go, there we go. Now to me, that's a large part of where the REBT stuff comes in. The REBT shows us where we are able to change emotions in quite a positive way, and that's fantastic. You know, if you are able to change them, then feel free to do so. Of course, there's no rule that you have to change them, because that would not be very accepting and not very non-demanding. What are you? Are you Astronium? Huh. I really didn't think I'd find Astronium this... Unless I'm actually like really close to the core, maybe? Huh. Okay, let's get back to our slope. And I think we're just going to keep digging down this way. Oh, slow down. Wow, I'm enjoying getting distracted. What a surprise. I never get distracted, so this is such an odd behavior. Now, acceptance becomes a really useful thing, both for after the REBT stuff, when you've exercised what control you were able to exercise, and you find there's still a degree of emotion left, and also then for times where particularly strong negative emotions... Oh, there we go. Jeez, that was fast. Compared to Glacier, this planet must be tiny. Oh, now, of course, we're going to go find out what resources we need to activate this one. Alright, let's just clear some space away. Ooh, not directly under me though. Oh, stop. Oh, this is... I just don't no, I don't just jump down because I want to be able to get down here again. No, this is not going... Of course, the slope is going to constantly change as the gravity adapts, I guess. Ooh. Wait. Oh god, I thought for a moment the whole thing cut off. Come here, you nasty little tether, you. Actually, why am I being stupid? And another one over here. And then... There we go. Now that was stupid, because we knew we wouldn't be able to place it fast enough. We still weren't able to place it fast enough. But so... This acceptance process can be really useful for when we have negative emotions that are particularly strong, but maybe quite appropriate as well. So for example, in grieving situations, there's often a large amount of negative emotion that's entirely appropriate for that scenario, but nonetheless can still be quite a difficult thing to sit with. Wait, why does this look like there's a force field around the thing? There is a force field around the thing. Well now, have we got a puzzle to solve here? Let's... I've got to activate one on the surface before I can activate this one. I'm a clever one. Okay, we're going back up again. Here, please. Sorry, I didn't think far enough ahead for that one. Ooh, hello, yeah. Wait, no, come on. No, really. Do some gravity-defying crazy stuff. Yeah, I haven't activated the chamber. Thank you, Professor Eggs. Thankfully, I also did realize that before I even looked at chat, but... let's go see... Tethers on this side. Hopefully, it'll just let me get back onto there. Okay, and then we're just going to go above ground and activate a chamber. Huh. I wonder how many astroneers have done it that way around. I feel like I may be one of the few. What are you? Ooh, how pretty. We'll take you with us. So now, the way in which we practice this acceptance, they actually, in acceptance and commitment therapy, they actually have a whole system in place, because they say, look, we get it, it's not as easy a thing to practice as just say, right, accept the emotion, hey presto, you're done. So they actually use, so they call it, they talk about a model of flexible thinking, that they say basically, as opposed to the very rigid thinking, or the terminology we're used to from REBT, the demanding thinking, let's just sort that out quickly. As opposed to very inflexible, rigid, demanding thinking, we want to develop a model or a way of thinking which is very flexible and very adaptable to any scenario, any situation. And in that, they made a 6-point model. Now what they do, to, I guess in a way to make it more memorable, but also I guess in part to demonstrate the relationship between different elements, or each of these 6 parts with each other. Yeah, we're back up here. Then over here. Okay, so we got to go find ourselves a thingamajig. A whatchamacallit, a doodabby. I actually care more about the ammonium, so I don't even put it on the storage. I can leave this. Actually, we'll keep it with us for now. I'm just going to grab some more compound. Okay, we now have a ridiculous amount of compound. Now, can anybody... I see a sort of faintly light looking thing over there. I wonder if that means it's over there too. And I figure there's one useful way to find out. Onwards and upwards. At least the moon is not huge, so it shouldn't take forever to find. I'm just going to move to a high spot for now. Research while we're standing here. See, that makes me think that there might be one there, although so does that. Although then again there are maybe just 2 of them relatively near each other. Okay, should we aim for that? And at worst we go around full circle. and we don't find it, I guess, possibly. But well, that would be the very worst. Apparently I've made some progress towards it already, so let's just keep going, shall we? Can't remember what I found here, but it must have been great. I'm gonna have to bring power to this too. See, I don't always think as far ahead as I'd like. Tether, please. That wasn't creepy in the slightest. Giant shadow passing over me. Yeah, let's grab those. Yeah, and then... Oh, my kitty is behind me somewhere and he just made the most very pitiful meow. Hello, my boy. Meow. What is it? Come. Come here. Nope. He's going to stand in the middle of the kitchen floor and have us feel sorry for him. I hope you guys are feeling very sorry for him. Meow, he says. My poor darling boy. What's that over there, actually? Zinc, I guess? Oh. We found it. Okay, what direction from here? And I also like that these cardinal directions work so well here. Okay, so let's call it northeast east. We're running northeast east. What is it, Harry? My partner's trying to call the kitty over to distract him. I think he just wants food, and it just so happens that his food is near me usually. Oh, there we go, he's gone over that way to sing the song of his peoples to my partner. The cat is saying, I demand sacrifice. Well now, if you mean sacrifice of kitty pebbles, then yes, that is definitely what he's demanding. Damn it, ran out again. Should actually just make some more while I'm standing around here, because I'm pretty sure that'll take at least 2 sets of tethers to get to. So they made a model of 6 points, and they arranged them in the shape of a hexagram. So basically each of the 6 corners of the hexagram was one of these points. And those 6 points, which I'm going to briefly go over for now, and then we'll talk about them in a little bit more detail in the next stream. A giant abyss. Do I want to go through you, around you, or over you? It does take a while to walk this way, but come on. Ah, you're kidding! I ran out of soil, and I can't. Ah, what a pain. Okay, they win. I'll go around, bastards. Can we even go around? As you can tell, we're focusing currently, and that planet just quietly disappears behind the horizon. Let's go that way around, actually. I love seeing all the little thingies. That's Earth over there, just by the way. Let's say someone else caused these negative emotions. Would you need to forgive that person to have acceptance, or does acceptance come before forgiveness? Whew, forgiveness is a fun topic all on its own. Actually, I quite enjoy the topic as well, because in my somewhat humble opinion, but partly learned opinion as well, I hope. I think a lot of people misunderstand what forgiveness is. I think once you develop a more realistic picture of, well, I mean, for all I know, you have a fantastic idea of what forgiveness is, but it's a fairly common thing that many people have a dysfunctional idea of what forgiveness is. Why is there a big hole in the ground right there? That wasn't me, was it? Anyway, so once you get down to the core of what forgiveness is, I think really you can't escape acceptance in that. So really, I don't think it's possible to have one without the other. You cannot be accepting without being a little repetitive here, but yeah, essentially you cannot be forgiving without being accepting, and you cannot be accepting without learning to forgive people. So there's definitely an element of forgiveness, but what I maybe ask you, if you want to give it a try, I'd ask you to give me an idea of what in your mind is forgiveness. If you had to define forgiveness as something, what would you call it? So you gave the idea of someone has caused those negative emotions. So potentially, in this instance of forgiveness, there's probably the idea that somebody has wronged you. If you set about forgiving them, what are you doing? Right. Now that I found my way here, I think I might need to go back to Earth actually, because I'm going to want a rover. And I've got the batteries, although I've only got 3 batteries. I can do with another. So I remember what that glacier one did to me. And okay, let's leave it at that for now. You know what? I could have actually made myself. Landing pads are huge. I couldn't have just carried one over there with me. But if I make a landing pad and a rover, then I can just take that there. And I've just left my tethers, but look, here we are. Home! Now, somebody on one of the Reddit forums taught me a trick, mentioned a trick, that if you just run towards the side of a mountain as you're falling down, then it doesn't actually penalize you. You can, there's not really fall damage then, you can just keep going potentially. You just have to be able to stick to the side of the mountain, essentially. Okay, we're going to... We're not going to have the materials actually here for a rover, so we're going to have to take stuff back again, or we're going to have to go back to Earth again to sort this. Yeah. Excuse me. To sort this out properly, it's going to make a lot more sense to go back to Earth quickly. Hey, Truny. What's going on in the game? In the game, I've just been down to the core of the moon to activate stuff down there, only to realize that I hadn't activated stuff on the surface yet. So now I'm going to run back to Earth, grab what I need to rover around the planet's surface, and go activate that, basically. That's what's happening. This is... I mean, I like that I can store stuff on here readily, but... I mean, it's also then got the disadvantage of if I want to ever move that anywhere, I can't pick up the whole thing. So in that sense, I guess it does save you on resin though. Okay, we're going to pop that back on here. And see, like even now, if I wanted to take it with me, I just can't. Okay, the batteries can stay here. We'll maybe just bring a few more batteries with us, as in just in case. Launch, please. Not sure about an actual definition, but to me, forgiveness is letting go of your negative feelings towards the person who believes it. Now, see, I get that. Like, it makes sense to me, but at the same time, I'd love to ask you, and I have ideas on this, so I think I'm kind of being a bit mean in putting you on the spot here a little bit. But how do you let go of emotions? What's involved in letting go? You know, do you just make up your mind, right, I'm not angry anymore, and then, oh, hey presto, the anger is gone? You know, what do you do when you let go of those emotions? And I don't want to get this wrong. Well, I don't want to confuse you, because I think you're absolutely on the right track here, but I think you're leaving a giant gap in between the conceptual of letting go of negative feelings, wonderful idea, and the practical, how the hell do we let go of feelings? Because I think that's where a lot of people get stuck. And we're going there, please. So I agree, but I also feel like there's more to it than what you've said so far, and I suspect you have some of the answers in you already. It's one of my favorite things with clients, is to make clients aware that really they know a lot more than they give themselves credit for. Now, random point. I saw somebody on Reddit made a really cool collection of all the research items from, I think they, can't remember if they'd done from every planet or if they'd just done like a particular planet and a whole bunch from there. But basically they were building a collection of research items. I'm kind of keen to do the same just because it's pretty. But now how am I going to remember that this one's from the moon? Other than obviously I was just on the moon and so I have stuff from the moon now. It's there. Trying to zoom out enough. No, I can't zoom out enough. Trying to see. God, I need to move. Trying to see what else I have on there. Nothing. Okay, cool. We want a large rover. We need rubber and aluminum alloy. For rubber, we need resin and organic. Aluminum alloy, I can't remember. Let's go. Oh, did I leave a canister here? I think I'm going to need that in a moment. Rubber and aluminum alloy. Let's just check what both of them need. Okay, aluminum and copper I definitely have. If I can find my copper and my aluminum. Okay, we'll do the rubber. Organic and resin. I don't have organic. And I don't have resin. Okay, so let's fill up the Wonder Machine. And now my other kitty is just singing the song of his people in the background. See, I need another medium storage to put on there. No. Take that one. And then we'll put these onto some other random storage. I'll never find them again. I mean, they'll be organized over here. And our resin will go there. And then we need organic. Let's go find us some lovely organic. Organic, please. Oh, I don't even have tethers to put out here. That's irritating. Give me organic. There we go. Right, before the tree lands on me, that's all we needed. 2 pieces of organic. So like coming to a point in your head where you're like, what's done is done and can't be reversed. Now, I'm not going to torture you any further because that would be a little cruel. But to take what you've just said there, you come to a point in your head where it's like, what's done is done and can't be reversed. Again, I agree with you. Conceptually, that's a nice idea. But now, at the same time, if it's just a matter of having that thought, couldn't we then write that, what you've just said, write it down on a piece of paper and show that to everybody who's really angry with somebody else and say, hey, you know what, quick, just think what's on this paper and everything will be fine. So, and I think you're catching where I'm you're likely catching where I'm going with that, where basically, no, you can't just think that thought and then, hey presto, it's gone. And 2 rubber, and then we need to go find that copper. Anybody know where a gecko would have left some copper? Could it be this? Copper, yeah! Look at how clever a gecko is. He found his copper. Put that one there, and then we need aluminum, not titanium. I know there is aluminum here. I'm just going to find it. Aluminum, aluminum, aluminium. This way. Aluminum alloy. Okay, go. So again, I agree with that idea, but I think people wait for this magical moment where something they do is going to make the emotion disappear. Have I got 2 of those or just 1? Just 1. I'm going to make another. Whereas what's more realistic is that the emotion isn't going to just magically disappear in an instant. Instead, the realization we come to in those moments, and maybe for a lot of people, when they have... Now, what you're talking about there, that what's done is done and can't be reversed, people do come to that aha moment, but I think there's an unconscious thing going on there at the same time. And if we can be conscious of what that is, which is what I'm wanting to talk about now, then I think we can almost fast forward that process quite significantly. Large rover, please. We want this, we want more batteries. For batteries, we want graphite and lithium. Graphite was over there. Over there. And we're going to come to this machine. There. Oh, zinc, shoot. Lithium and zinc, not graphite. Zinc is on that side. Okay, so let's drop off graphite. We'll put the... Even though I was going to keep that with me for a packager, it doesn't matter. We don't really need it. Medium battery, please. We're just going to make 2 of these. And so, I think the magic ingredient is at that point, people reach a point of saying, of unconsciously for many people, going, you know what? I'm angry with this person. And as much as I don't like being angry, I can't do anything about being angry. The fact that I'm angry is just it. It's there, it's present, I have this anger here, and that's okay. I accept the fact that I feel the way I feel. Now that's, to me, that's a crucial part of the recipe in this forgiveness idea, that we accept the way that we're feeling about something. Oh, and I've just realized. Oh no, I can take this one off and I can put the rover on there. Okay. Then we'll have a rover. We'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's make 1 more battery just in case it needs 6 for whatever reason. And then we'll decide after that what we're doing. Okay, 1 more battery, please. And so, and absolutely, Nura, sometimes one is not wrong. Absolutely not. The point in forgiveness is not to say you were wrong to feel this emotion. Oftentimes, and in fact, honestly, we don't ever want to come to a point. It's not going to help you in any way to come to a point to say, you know what, it's wrong of me to feel whatever emotion. Because, you know what, even if it is wrong, how are you going to fix that? How are you going to magically correct this wrongness that you've apparently committed? Really, our emotions are kind of inflicted upon us. We deal with them, but we don't sit there... let me just connect to oxygen. We don't sit there choosing and say, you know what, I think I'd like to be angry with this person today. That would be great. Call your senator. No, I think that makes you angry. Now, do we think 1 rover is going to be enough? If I make the smaller platforms, I'll need a bunch of resin. Actually, I can print out... Wait. Yeah, I think I can print out the platforms on the moon, so we can take this along, I think. Yeah, let's take this along. I like to call you senator. He's quite polite, actually. Oh, the senator staff assistant. Nice. Well, I'd imagine a large part of their job is making sure that, you know, everybody who calls them is as absolutely pleased as punch as possible. But yeah, so the concept in here, you know, everything that you've said so far, you know, coming to a point in your head where what's done is done and can't be changed is absolutely right. In a similar way, coming to a point in your head where you go, what emotion is done, and it can't be changed, it can't be reversed, it can't be magicked away, it's there. And as much as I don't like having this emotion there, I'll be okay with it there. Oh, see me. This cool drink is getting to me. You know, I can handle having that emotion there. That's okay. It's not ideal, but it's all right. I'll be all right with it. When you mentioned acceptance, I thought forgiveness would be something to bring up. Okay, cool. In the presentation about forgiveness, I would be curious to hear what they have to say about forgiveness. But so to me, now if we combine acceptance with forgiveness, if you can reach this point of accepting the fact that you feel the way you feel, now you could reach that point and choose not to forgive someone as well. But I don't think when you choose not to forgive someone, you're doing more damage to yourself than you are to anybody else. And so in that sense, I think it makes a lot of sense to choose to forgive people, if only for our own benefit. As much as that might be a somewhat selfish concept. Ooh. At some point we went north, east, east to get to that thing, didn't we? Which is that way. Oh yeah, and I came running down this mountain like over there-ish. Okay. Basically, we've got to be able to get the rover out. Okay, let's one step at a time. Let's take the rover off. We can put it here. No, I want to do it on the other side. Go sit here, please. Is there a plug outlet here somewhere? Yeah, there's a plug over there. And we're going to unpack you. And we're going to plug you into there. Oh, hello. Come on, hold still. There we go. And I'm going to charge that up. My tethers are... I just had a thought. Are my tethers connected to my spaceship rather than... Because that's what I wanted. Because I want the tethers to be connected to this thing because it has the power base. I forgot a rover seat. How could you guys let me forget a rover seat? Okay, printer time. Then another small generator. Oh, then it must be this way. There we go. Okay. We're going to make a small printer, and if that's not enough, we'll make a medium printer. If that's not enough, we'll make a large printer, because we need a rover seat. Come here. And then please be on the small one. That would be really nice. Rover seat. Compound. Yes. Okay. Crisis averted. Rover seat, please. Okay. The new shelters have... Yeah, they do have a pre-built oxygenator, but it's the power that I wanted. So I had these batteries sitting down here, and I wanted that power to feed... So remember when I was digging earlier and I kept running out of power? I wondered if that was maybe because I was only connected to this for power rather than to the shelter for power. Okay, rover seat. I'm not completely sure, but that might have been what was going on. We're going to put you up here. No, thank you, but I don't want to ride on the front of the vehicle. Unpack you, please. Now we have an interesting scenario. I didn't bring any wind power with me, did I? Although, okay, wait, can I make platforms with this thing? Generator. No, I don't have those with me. Medium platform. I did see some resin, didn't I? Oh, you're not resin. Oh, you're research, and I've just thrown you down the drain, essentially. Oh well. Give me that research anyways. But I'm sure I saw some resin here somewhere. Jeez. Darkness comes quickly on this planet. Okay, let's go grab some resin, because essentially we want to make some platforms to stick in my backpack to take along with us. Nope. I'm gonna make... I have to make a lot more than just like 1 or 2 platforms. See there, I ran out of power, but I'm connected. And this time I know I know I'm connected to the things with the batteries. I don't know why they're not giving me the batteries. So all the trails are connected to the shuttle. Try moving the shuttle a bit further. I mean, yeah, I suppose that would probably make sense. Just to force them to... Are you going to stay upright? Stay upright? I don't know why I'm so worried about shuttles falling over, but basically I really don't want my shuttle to fall over. Okay, let's try that again. Now that's definitely disconnected. But no, I can still see my power slowly being chewed away. Huh. I'm sure it used to be a thing that you could, like, as long as you had enough power at your base, you could just dig endlessly. Oh well. I don't want clay. Oh, up here, there we go. Good job, Moon. Glad you still have resin for me. The moon is made of cheese. Oh, yes, there we go. Nope, don't want to look at them again. I want to drop them there. Okay, so have you heard of clients with an enemies list? I mean, I can't say that I've had masses of my own clients that have come to me and said, you know, oh hey, this is a list of my enemies. But I mean, I know that's something people do. Maybe more just that when I've had clients come to me with stuff about other people, typically their first problem is not, hey, listen, I have this enemy list and I need your help with it. You know, they find hired mercs for that. They don't find psychologists for that. I think this should be fine. Let's just make one and see. But I think if I can put 2 batteries on there, except it's not. It's going to be packed when I get it out. But yeah, I should be able to put... Yeah, I can definitely put 2 batteries on there, I'm sure. Okay. Let's just do that, and do that again. Okay. So yeah, I don't think I've had clients with enemy lists. Backpack recharge is limited, and you use your power... Yeah, wow. Trunies, that is very clearly very true. And by the way, Trunies, I should introduce myself, because I don't think I've seen you in here before. Or if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me, and then it's clearly just goldfish memory going on. But, hi Trunies, I'm a psychologist. As much as I love playing Astroneer here, my main point in being here, if you might have gotten the drift from all my conversation so far, is about mental health promotion. Basically, my basic concept is I want to take what I know as a psychologist and share a lot of that information with people in ways that I hope will be helpful to them in improving their own mental health and well-being. The only thing that's missing from this is I don't have anything to generate power with. And I don't think I have any of the ingredients I'd need to make ceramic and glass and copper. Because now I need something. Oh no, wait. No, because I have tethers there, but yeah, I can't actually connect to them to charge them. Not so much an enemies list, but a list of people who should quite rightly be investigated in a variety of dumb ways. When she came across them, she would go out of her way to make sure they get busted like they deserved. Well, I mean, there's a certain amount of like vengeance type things there, and if I were to see that in therapy, I potentially want to be asking that person, is this such an important part of your value system that everything else that's important to you deserves to take a back seat while you work on this? And if the person said yes, I'd say great, go for it. You know, if you're not doing anything morally reprehensible, why not? You know, you have every right to catch people out for bad things that they're doing, if that's your... And honestly, even if it were a sort of well, I just don't like them, and I've got to be careful about judging people's value systems, but the likelihood is that person would probably have things that were more important to them in their lives than that. And I'd want to say, well, potentially focusing so hard on making other people get in trouble or be investigated and be caught for the wrongdoing and being busted, and spending so much time on that is detracting from the time that the person could be spending working on what's truly important to them. So that's probably the way I'd approach something of that sort. Trunies, what's your home language, if I can ask? The native speaker, so there's a barrier for me on this topic. I was going to try to take advantage. Trunie, you're always welcome to ask me to explain things a little more simply if you like. I've got a few years of experience as an English as a second language teacher. You're Russian. Okay, well, I've got to say my Russian is awful. Being Russian, maybe you speak some Japanese. I could speak some Japanese if that would help. I don't know if I'd cover these topics in Japanese. But yeah, I'm afraid my Russian is... I think my Russian goes as far as da. I think that's it. We've covered my Russian now. Unfortunately not, no worries. Honestly, it would have been stretching my Japanese to talk about some of this stuff. But no worries. I mean, so far you sound like you're speaking some pretty awesome English, so up to you. If you want, you're welcome to stop me in the middle of something and say, hey, could you say that again? Could you say it more slowly? What was that word? Could you find a different word to say it? Whatever. But you're also welcome to not do that if that's not comfortable for you. I really don't mind. Okay, I think I'm going to use my precious hydrazine to go all the way back to Earth, grab some... I don't even actually want wind turbines here. I guess I want solar panels. Grab some solar panels and come back here just so that this expedition of mine is going to work. Let's think this through before we go. Is there anything else I need? When I get there, I'll have the platforms, which are in my backpack. I might as well leave those here. I'm going to hear my kitty making adorable noises somewhere, saying meow. There is a streamer who does multiple languages. Yeah, Polyglotopus, yeah. Polyglotopus does Russian as well. That's really awesome. Mira, I did go and check out Polyglotopus the other day. I think I might have seen you there then as well. But yeah, Polyglotopus was pretty cool. It's kind of... I aspire to one day be... Well, I think I may... I'm not sure exactly what the requirements are for being a polyglot, but basically it's something that I aspire towards at some point as well. Like I speak English and Afrikaans fluently. I speak Japanese conversationally. I speak some basic Norwegian. I speak a few phrases and a few key phrases of Korean because I lived there for a bit as well. I did start learning some Cree this year, but I dropped out of the lessons eventually because, in part because it was inconvenient, it was really far away, and in part because they were going at an absolute snail's pace, and at the rate they were going I could expect fluency in the next 20 years or so, so I was kind of like, no, this isn't working for me. And I think the difficulty getting there probably contributed towards seeing the language lessons there as not as great as I imagined they might be. No, Gecko, she didn't stop everything to deal with the list. She went on with her life until one of them came to her attention. Then they were quite rightly prosecuted. See, now, Nira, in that sense, I can't necessarily say that there's anything particularly wrong about that. I mean, from what I'm understanding of what you've said so far, and she has every right to prioritize that if that's something she wants to prioritize. I'd want to quiz that with that person. I'd want to talk about, what they gain from doing that and why they've placed so much value in it and how forgiveness might be something that would fit in with their life and what kind of emotional effects that process was having on her as a person, never mind the other person. And ideally, I'd want that person to think about that process of theirs quite critically, but if that's what they want to do, then by all means, go ahead and do it. Okay, I just want to scroll up because I think there was in the chat, because there was something I wanted to talk about. Okay, I think I got a bit lost, so I'm going to jump back on somewhere on the previous conversation. I may be repeating myself a little, but I always figure I'd rather repeat myself a bit than skip something important. So we were talking about forgiveness and acceptance. And on the one side, it is absolutely possible to say, you know what, I accept that I feel this way. It's all right. It's acceptable that I'm feeling angry. I'm going to choose to direct all my future behavior towards this person in a negative light and essentially hold what's happened against this person for forevermore. I could choose to do that. But really then, that's kind of... I'm taking my focus off of what's important to me potentially, just so that I can be aware of, oh, I need to change my behavior for this person, so that it's something you can do, but I think many people would realize there's not really all that much use to doing it that way. I'm just going to make 2 medium wind turbines. Actually, I might just actually take the ingredients with me, because I only need the small printer. So I've got 2 copper, 2 glass, wind turbines, platforms, batteries. Hopefully this will be as good. And then I should... Actually, let's take some graphite as well. I think I had over there somewhere. Yeah. Let's take some graphite, and then we can pack up, like, the rover at least, because there's... yeah, I think actually it makes sense to pack up the rover. Okay, off we go. Oh, so much hydrogen for this. Korean is not really... What? It's not really like Japanese, despite similarities. Now, Nero, you'd be surprised, honestly. Like, I will say... The first people to tell you that the languages are nothing alike will be Korean and Japanese people. But that said, I can't tell you how many times I ran into phrases, and the grammar especially, the grammar between the two, there's a lot of similarity between the grammars. Korean also has a fair few words that I suspect were influenced by Japanese during the Japanese occupation of Korea. But either way, like there are phrases and such that you sort of hear and you go, oh, I know that phrase. But yeah, they're definitely wholeheartedly different languages, even if there are some similarities between them. I think the one thing with them, Korean and Japanese people often find it, as compared to many other languages, relatively easy to learn each other's languages because of the very similar grammar. Why do I feel like... There we go. I was going to say, like, I couldn't seem to look at the planet properly until I realized, wait, I'm looking at the wrong planet. Come here, please. Some of these people are a threat to the public. There's a reason Class 2 controlled substance laws are strict. Ooh, geez. Look, I mean, if they're a threat to the public, then I really hope that person acts out her have these people prosecuted thing, because we don't want people who are threats to other people or threats to the public running around being threats to them, I guess. Okay, I'm thinking we'll leave some of the stuff here, but we do have to take some of it with us as well. So we're going to grab that. We won't need all that soil. Grab that, and then wind turbine, oh, we need to make the wind turbines here, actually. Solar, sorry, I meant solar. Yeah, we need to make... Yeah, this is a sun planet. Okay, cool. Funny story. 2 top test pilots, one Korean American, the other Japanese American. They fly together, are friends. Some journalist asked them about some diplomatic issue between the 2 countries. They basically reply, doesn't change anything for us. I think that's so many, and it's interesting as well, like, the Japanese basically love Korea. Like, Japanese people think Korea is awesome. Whereas with the Koreans, especially amongst older people, because many of them have experienced like negative effects from the Japanese occupation of Korea, and there's still a lot of bitterness about the fact that Japan hasn't publicly apologized for a lot of what they did. But whereas a lot of the younger people, not all of them, some of them have picked up on their parents' attitudes and sort of also walk around with the attitude of, oh, we hate the Japanese. We're not going to just drive up here. Or are we? Maybe we are. Maybe we are. And now we're just going to go up there and... Yes. Oh, come on. Come on. You can do it. There we go. So you just got to pep talk your rover and then it's fine. And let's jump out of this for a moment. We want to go the other way. But that said, I don't think we can, like, drive... Well, we might have to find an alternative route, basically. We might not be able to just follow the the tethers. But let's see how we do. Let's not drive into the holes. Ooh, let's drive over a lovely patch of ammonium. Oh, and I feel like this rover is going so slowly. Okay. So yes, so forgiveness and acceptance. Went to F key for Professor Eggs. I'm not sure if you missed all too much. I've been doing a fair bit of rambling, trying to get back on topic, and then getting distracted, and then happily listening to what Nero has to say about some stuff, and then realizing I'm distracted again, and so on and so on. Do you think we can make it over this without falling down a hole? I think we can. He says that he's already halfway over, but I think we can. Oh, there's a lot of craters on the moon though. Can somebody please tell the moon to get its stuff together so that I don't have to have so much difficulty driving around? I hope I haven't gone too far. But I think just over this crest I'm going to find a chunk of what I'm looking for. Please get over that. Yes. Fiddlesticks, it's over that way. Going downhill at least will be slightly faster until we hit bumps. Hello, Kitty. Harry's come to sit next to us in his cat tree. I mean, grace us with his presence. I really like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen, Nero, you've seen him, I know, but the, oh no, I can't think of that, Innovator, where he, I like his setup where he basically, ooh, oh yeah, we can go this way, where he has his cat, like, constantly next to him on a seat, and then, like, words are coming to me, he has the cat like on camera and the cat just sort of chills there, and I really like that. I kind of wish I could do the same. Okay, let's stop here. Okay, hopefully we have enough things here that this isn't going to be an issue. We want a platform over there and a platform over there. And a platform over here. Then we want a solar thingy there. Did I forgot those other batteries, didn't I? Oh well. Can I move one over? Oh, these apparently only have one space, or only have space for one battery. So I overestimated their utility. Yep, come on. Yes, and we're going to do this relatively quickly before the power runs out on them. Come on. No! Hurry up. Come on! Okay, I should have connected the platforms first. But I think we're still going to get it, maybe? Just... There we go. What do we think? Are we gonna make it? Are we gonna make it? Really? God. Okay. Oh, that's irritating. Okay, can we unpack that here? No. Oh, choice. Okay, what we're going to do then is we're going to unplug that one, bring this here, and charge them up first. So it would have been enough, I was just too slow in my not so very fantastic clicky skills. Okay, we'll put one over there, unplug you, yeah, thank you platform, you've reinforced how much I failed. And one over here, over there. Oh, there we go. Actually, I'd rather charge up one of them faster. Okay. We'll stand here in the sunlight and... God, look how quickly it goes over though. Do you think this shade will... Ah, it does too. Ah, it actually gets affected by like real world sun. I thought it might just be on a timer. Okay. Line them up so we're ready to... Okay, you know what? If it's going to be like that, this should maximize at least... There we go. The amount of time that they're connected to the sun. Maybe charge them on the rover. I was thinking of that as well. But of course I'll have to charge up the rover again at some point. Although... Oh, I guess I'd plug in the rover to there. Okay, let's jump from all the way over there, jump into the rover, go back up here. At least I brought the solar panels, so as much as it's a little bit of a fail, it's not the worst fail. There we go. Okay, so now let's pull up that one. But yeah, the rover doesn't hold that much charge, so... Oh look, it's done. That was fun. Ooh, chat. Hello, chat. Hello. Lots of chat. Hello, Sith Panda. Sith, I'm sorry your emotes got killed. I need to turn that off from Nightbot. I think you can fit all the panels and batteries at the same time. Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, that would have made a lot of sense. You are the missing link. Goodbye, says Nightbot. Kids are notoriously upset if they're not given challenging play activities, so it's kind of self-selection. They get adopted parents who challenge them with their interests. That's very cool. No, there is sun there. I saw the sun there. Don't cheat me out of my sunlight. I'm just going to swap them around. You know, honestly, sitting under this thing is probably not helping my cause much. But we're getting there. Like little by tiny little bit. We're getting there. Oh, come on. We are patient. Move the rover. I suppose, yeah, like just move it out there and... Okay, let's do that. Come on. And battery, and battery, and battery, and... Of course now it's night time, but yeah, okay, fair point. Some of you are cleverer than I. We're just destroying some local vegetation while we're waiting. Okay. Now it should charge up everything. Okay, cool. So forgiveness and acceptance. I was totally talking about those at one point in my life, maybe a previous lifetime. You can choose, potentially, to be accepting of your own emotions and to choose not to forgive the other person and potentially continue to bias your behavior towards them. I will say that would likely make it hard to... So what tends to happen with emotions is the ultimate thing which makes them fade away is just time. And so essentially, if you give them enough time and you don't focus on them too hard during that time, to a relative degree, or rather you don't fixate on them, then over time they're going to fade and fade and fade and potentially eventually become zilch. I can smell the shade coming, like... And that one's filling up. And now I'm going to drive over there and it's going to use some of the power from this, but probably not too much. Okay. Let's go line everything up. This time we're going to connect the platforms first, as we should have done before. And I promise I'm not forgetting about talking about topic. But ideally, I think for most people, you would be combining acceptance with forgiveness. I like that it's already making noises and there's not even a battery there. Oh, no, please don't fall through. Typically what happens in forgiveness is two things. One is that we choose to accept the negative emotion we're experiencing. And 2 is that we make a conscious decision that we're not going to bias our behavior towards that person based on... Let's put one there. No, really? Put one there, and put one here, and here, and there. There we go. Okay, that should be plenty of power, I think. Since they follow the NATOPS style perimeter checklist, it's natural to use non-parent as a pilot, so that does make sense. And it is cool for them that it's kind of a cool program for them, but also kept in the family in a sense. About to finish my drink, I'm very sad. This is the great Jamaican ginger beer. It's quite yum. Huzzah! We did it. Okay, we will gaze into the odd stone. And now that we've done that, we can go to the center, although we haven't activated the other one, but that's okay. I guess these platforms will just stand here for all of time. Because I can't be bothered to carry them away anywhere else. And now, can anybody remember the route we took to come here? I think we drove over a bit of a nasty hill at some point. I can see what's his name over there? I could always... No, actually no, I don't want to do that. I was going to say I could use the portal to go to Earth, but actually no, I can't do that even if I wanted to. Okay, I think we want to go past this mountainous compound. Come on. Come on, we're nearly there. Nearly there. There we go. Yes, and now I have my path to the core at least. Well, apparently I nearly had a second path to the core. Where am I getting stuck here? There we go. Nope. Wow, this thing really doesn't want... Okay, I'll go that way, I guess. Jeez. Come on. Okay, let's just... Actually... There we go. I have to get out again, I think, when I get to this mountain, because I don't think I'm going to make it up there, but we'll give it a try. I'm hoping, maybe... Oh god, oh god. Okay, change of plan. Oh god. Oh, there's just holes everywhere. Have you guys ever seen, by the way, random aside, but have you guys ever seen those videos where, like real life videos, where they go in like those crazy buggy-like vehicles and they just shoot up the side of a cliff? Like, those things are absolutely nuts. So, you know, the issue here is if I get stuck, which I feel like I'm about to do, I really don't want to have to jump out on top of these plants. Look at me getting stuck as I say that. If I go down... You know what? We're going down there. But yeah, like there's some crazy videos of guys like getting out of holes. It's like basically climbing up cliffs like this in real life. And yeah, the all-terrain vehicles, they are absolutely nuts. I've seen them a couple times, and every time I do, I'm just like, how the hell am I? Sorry, I'm being paranoid here, but I don't want them there. Okay. Ooh. Okay, let's just dig through the mountain. Yeah, no power, no kidding. Wait. give me power. Anyway, God, okay. Let's finish this topic, shall we? I'm gonna do my best to pay as little attention to the game as I can so I can finish this topic and finish my drink. So, essential end of the story with the forgiveness thing. Definitely a relationship between the two of them, but by no means is forgiveness a necessary component of acceptance, just probably a useful one in many scenarios. I'm going to reverse this and then see if we can just get up there. There we go. There we go. And now onto that nice flat bit I made until we get to the nice holy bit that I also made. I really should have made a nice path for my vehicle to come on, but instead I was in too much of a rush. And it's right there! Come to me, my pretty... Jeez, I was actually this close to it. It's actually half surprising. I think I can just go down here and I'll get to it. Might be famous last words, but let's try. Yes! Oh! Okay. And then we can jump out of this and go get in our hole in the ground. Let's... Actually, yeah, that can just stay there and charge for now. There was my hole in the ground. Was it this side? Must have been. Nira, I swear now I'm supposed to be focusing, and now I just want to read your funny story. Did you plan it this way? Okay, let's jump down our hole. Oh, crap, we're gonna shoot off the edge of something if we're not careful. No, sorry Nira, I'm just going to finish sliding down that little bit. And then I'm going to actually look at your story again. Oh, and enough resources flying somewhere. Down here? Yes. Oh, we always love this. You just fly for forever. And then... There we go. And it should be open now, I suppose. Yep, that looks pretty open to me. Awesome. Funny story. I nearly fall off the edge of this thing as I try to read your stuff while I'm still looking here. I should have paid attention to this last time. What are those triangles? Triangles? Zinc? I think. That's zinc, okay. We didn't bring any zinc with us. Okay, funny story. I exchanged notes with a friend today about building one to navigate forest tracks in California to quickly respond to fires. Wind turbines do work on the moon, but the moon is high sun, low wind. If you check that little, just like the little resource encyclopedia thing I checked, if you check the planet guide there, they tell you what each planet is high and low in. How did I do this last time? Stand up here, go like that, there we go. But yeah, so the moon, you can do wind energy, it's just not very efficient. The solar energy is a lot more efficient. Okay, so I think we've probably gone over forgiveness 50,000 times in the same point, like 50,000 times. So I'm going to move on from there. So in practicing acceptance, they have this 6-point hexagon of flexible thinking, which they shorten. Oh, hello, we found zinc. think first of all the smelter to use it, but 1, 2, 3 pieces of zinc, perfect. We'll grab you, and we'll run back up. See, we're starting our moon collection of research objects. I've got a crick in my neck at the moment, or not a crick, like a stiff piece of neck. That. Anyway, so in this six-sided diagram of the points of acceptance, or the points of what they call flexible thinking. So because it's a hexagram of flexible thinking, they nicknamed it the hexaflex. They just combined the two. But what's nice with that is if you're curious about it, you can go and Google just the word hexaflex, which is HEXAFLEX, and you'll find a lot of diagrams that demonstrate, I guess is a fair phrase, but they show the different elements of this model of theirs for flexible thinking. We need to make a smelter. For that we need to make a medium printer. For that we need to move this thing out of the way first. And my kitty is here somewhere. Hello, Louis. He's just come to sit next to us too. What a good boy. We're looking for medium printer. Medium printer needs 2 compound. Go. Okay. And in the 6-pointer diagram, there's essentially, let's see if I can remember these properly. In no particular order, because really you can come at it from any angle you like. The points are the one of acceptance, which we've spoken about, which has its own stuff, but there are also additional points as well. We want a smelter, hey? Resin and compound. Okay, compound I have. Resin. I need to go dig up a little bit more resin, I assume. Where did I dig up that resin before? It was up on a bit of mountain somewhere. Was it up here? Probably wasn't up here. Okay, there we go, there's resin. Okay, we'll be sorted soon. I love how each planet has its own random resource. I wonder if there's any sense to the resources they need. Like if you think about it carefully, you can sort of go, oh, I need to take resource X to the core of that planet. Nothing too obvious to me so far, but there have been plenty of times in this game I haven't thought things through completely, so it's quite possible. Smelting furnace, resin compound, let's go. And then we'll stick it on there, we may as well. And we'll put our zinc material there, awesome. So, acceptance is one of the points. Wow, now my head's going blank. Acceptance, present focus, which is the concept of focusing on the here and now, as opposed to what we often do, we focus on things that are in the future or things that are in the past. Now, this is not to say thinking of the future and past is bad, just that there's an imbalance, that we tend to spend too much time focusing on the past and the future, and if we take a little more time to focus on what's in the present, that can be very useful. I'm going to assume it puts it on the side first, because rule of right, I didn't know. Of course we need our batteries. There we go. Ran out of solar power. Yeah, and it did too. Yeah, awesome. acceptance, present focus. Two that are somewhat complicated to explain, so I think I'll mention them briefly now, and we'll talk about them in more detail in the future. One of them is self as context. I'm skipping one, or at least I have a generic order that I usually explain this stuff in, but I think it's just been a while since I've explained a lot of this stuff, so my head is feeling a little slow with trying to get these things into mind. Anyway, so one of these things is self as context, which is basically the idea that we often wrap up our own identities in the way we're feeling, and it comes through in the language we use. You know, in English we like to say things like I am emotion, I'm sad, I'm depressed, I'm hurt, I'm lonely, I'm anxious, I didn't bring them all with, eh? No, I did. Wait, oh yes I did. Okay, thank goodness. And we often, in a sense, create an identity that's wrapped up in these emotions, whereas really it's not technically right to say I am this experience that I'm having. You know, it would make a lot more sense realistically to say, well, there we go, that's land there. To say I feel happy, I have sadness, I have anxiety, and that we are connected to these emotions, but we aren't the emotions themselves. You know, if you take away any particular emotion that I'm experiencing, I'm still me. You know, it's not like once the emotion goes away, suddenly I've become somebody else. Okay, sync. Did I get 3? Why did I did get 3 last time as well, hey? And then that will be things on the other side of this. Okay, so let's just run around to the other side. Oh, it even traps me inside, as if to say, you better damn well do this first before you leave. There we go. Yay, shiny thingy. Just solo awakened, very nice. Okay, so we did acceptance, self as context, present focus. Ah, there's an important one. Well, they're all important, but there's one that I'm missing there. Self as context. Diffusion. So, as meaning the opposite of fusion. Diffusion is basically the idea that, in the same way I was talking about, that we fuse ourselves with these emotions. You know, we see I am sad, I am me. We combine who we are with these emotions, and diffusion is about separating those two out to be able to recognize that that I can exist without the emotion. It makes sense that they go here. Let's just double check. Yeah. No, that is the right one. Okay, cool. And then if we run back up there. Actually, I just realized something probably unlocks when you place them all there, but I wonder what. But don't tell me, Professor X, if you're still there, I don't want to know. I want... oh god. There. I want that one. Just to give you the names of the planets rather than just... here's planets for all. Although for now it's not too difficult because I've only unlocked a few of them. And land, please, thank you. And tethers. Yeah, I don't want to actually land on the surface one. I want to go here. No, 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 no. Oh god, if you could. Okay, so self as context, diffusion. And I think you might have seen that self as context and diffusion, there's a lot of similarity between the two. In the same way that with acceptance and present focus, there's a lot of similarity, there's a lot connected between the two of those as well. Because essentially, when we are trying to accept emotions, when we're not accepting of them, we often tend to be fixated on either the past, oh, this guy did this thing, or how do I? There we go. How could this guy have done this thing? Shame on him. Or a future thing. Oh, this test is coming. Oh my God, so anxious. And if we can focus a little more on the presence, on the present, not the presence. That's Christmas time. Of what we're feeling, what we're thinking, what we're doing, what's going on around us, what's going on with the relationships we're interacting with at that point. If we can focus on all of that, it tends to help us be more accepting of the fact that there's a negative emotion there. That's unfortunate, but is what it is. Those, that. Wait. Damn it, there's another one. Oh no, that's fine, alright. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that can stay there. Okay. We'll just pick this up and keep going then. Okay, we've done 4. And the last 2, so we spoke about it briefly before, the values. So basically, we spoke about that idea of, when you're so fixated on your emotional, on getting rid of emotions, it makes it that you're much less likely to be focused on what's important to you, your values. And so acceptance and commitment therapy makes a point of people becoming aware of what is important to them, what are their long-term, medium-term, short-term goals and desires and preferences and all that sort of thing, so that when we're taking our mind off of the emotions, we also know what we're choosing to put it on to say, or our focus rather, to say, I'm choosing not to focus on these emotions as much. Instead, I'm choosing to focus on this thing that's important to me, whatever it is. Okay, I guess we're done on the moon now. Jeez, that's like feels like a rather short visit. Let's go. We brought zinc with, well, not zinc, graphite. So I think I might just go pack up the. We're definitely taking that. Don't care too much about the carbon or the filters or that. Okay, let's just go make a packager. No. Then we're going to go pack up this lovely creature. Just as soon as we put these somewhere. Well, we'll just put them down for now, and we'll sort out what we're doing with them in a moment. Something on the front of this? No. Okay. We'll have a packager over here. Packages. They're awesome. And you, we want, well, the next space one first. Okay. Look at us getting stuck here. I see a message. I should read a message. Please hold. Where? There, in my smelter. Okay, cool. I'm gonna put that one there. And then I think we're gonna give priority to the research objects, eh? That makes sense to me. I can go up there. And then we want to put these batteries and whatnot here somewhere. We can keep that and that. We put that on here, that on there. Can we put this anywhere? We don't really need to though, we've got a giant one. Do I want to pack this one? Not the end of the world really. Yeah, let's just go. Okay. Alright, I'm off to bed. We have to sleep now. Have a good night. Thanks, Professor Eggs. Thank you for hanging out. Have a good night. Hope you sleep well. Let's refill with hydrazine when we get back to Silver. Finally seem to be putting that place's name into my head. That place over there. Silver, please. Oh, actually, by the way, what time are we on? We're on 11 o'clock, which means, I'm sure as you good people likely know, yes, our lovely Dr. Mick is online. Actually, Polyglotopus is online as well, but I do like to go watch Dr. Mick, so let's go do that. Just going to fly home quickly, and then I can land there, do my wave, jump in my shelter, and we can go raid. So I'll go type in the raid command so long. Dr. Mick live. And I'm going to hit enter, and while that's doing its thing, I can complete this bunch. Go stand here and say, it's my first goodbye in my new suit. Goodbye, everybody. We've conquered the moon. We'll conquer another planet next time. Okay, let me pull him up on my phone so that if there's ads, we can skip them. No, there aren't. Okay, everybody ready? Raiding in 3, 2, 1, go.
Emotional reaction, or really any emotional reaction that they can tag. Like, you know, if you had something in your amygdala that was flawed, or something